Kogan Cassius here for the Cassius and Helder show. We're in Islington, fighting this week at the York Hall card, on the Frank Warren York Hall card. Got Georgie Kean. How are you, George?
Good man, good.
You alright?
Yeah.
This is where you live, and
yeah, this is where I live, man. Right in sort of on top of the Arsenal stadium. So
that's handy being an Arsenal fan, isn't it?
It is, mate. I can hear every time when they score. If the match is not on telly and I don't make it, I can always hear when Arsenal have scored from the cheers from the stadium. So it always helps.
This is your first fight back since your defeat to William Warburton. How long did that take to sink in, George?
Cool, mate. It was the worst thing. Oh, mate, it's the worst feeling ever. It took sort of a long time to get over it. Like, you know, it was just after the fight, you know, it's just you're sort of down in the dumps for a long time and that. But you know, you just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and learn from what went wrong and go again. You know, and I'm looking to make a big statement Saturday night.
I mean, as brutal as this sounds, does it come down to what, the matchmaking, or was it your ability? I mean, it's not your standard because you're not saying no discredit to William Warburton, but you know, you'd be thinking that you'd be beating someone like this. So what did it come down to, or just didn't perform to on the night?
Do you know what? In all honesty, I just think, you know, you've got to get the balance of things right, and for me, the balance of everything just seemed. It seemed out of whack, like, you know, with training, resting, nutrition. I don't know, like, the balance just all seemed different, and you know, being with a new trainer and sort of people expecting this, and like maybe I put too much pressure on myself. It was a weird feeling, man. It was a weird old night, and even sort of, you know, when I was leaving the arena and that, my dad come in and said, you know, the result for Frank as well, and it was a mad old night, that one. It was even Arsenal sort of going to penalties in the FA Cup. It was just, yeah, no, it was a weird night, that night. It was
a couple of, like I said, no one, I would say no one expected Frank to lose either, but Frank was in a hard fight as well. So, I mean, he's come back and, you know, he's sort of got rid of that night because he's come back with a win. This would be your first fight back since against Dwayne Green, so you just be looking to get back on track now and put your career back on track and just use that as a learning curve more than anything. Yeah,
like, obviously the loss, I didn't want it. No one wants it in this game, but it's not the end of the world. You know, I'm staying positive. Like I say, I've learned, you know, of the mistakes and what went wrong, and I aim to put it right on Saturday night and sort of move forward, you know. And a lot of the main thing is, don't dwell on it, you know. Take what you need from it and then just move on, you know what I mean. Get back on the horse and put it right and carry on looking forward.
What have you changed as regards to the camp leading up to that last fight to this camp? Has there been much changes? To be honest, no. We've just been like keeping going, you know, what we've been doing, but now I feel, you know, my body's sort of not aching in places that it was aching before with the new sort of training that I was doing. You know, I feel my body's adapted to the new demands, what was sort of asked upon it, and you know, I'm feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, you know, everything ready for Saturday night. I mean, is there more pressure on you this time round than maybe like your debut? Because the debut for someone's always them sort of nerves of just getting that first one out of the way. Yeah. But this is you making sort of, you come back after a defeat, so.
Cool, there might be more pressure, but I feel nice and relaxed, and you know, I feel that I've done everything right. And I'm just going to get in there and, do you know what I mean, just let my ability do its thing, you know what I mean, rather than fight sort of under pressure, do you know what I mean, because that can make you do silly things sometimes.
Is there too much emphasis on unbeaten records in boxing nowadays, in your opinion? It's hard to say that because you've lost and you could look at it either way, but I think
there is, but
it's always nice to be unbeaten, you know. I think it's better more in a marketing sense, you know. You can market someone undefeated and this many knockouts and all that, and it's easier in that sense. But you know, we've seen people like lose quite a few fights and end up sort of winning titles further down the line. You know, boxing's a funny old game, mate. It's so honest in the fact that, you know, like I've heard the saying before, records are for DJs, and it's so true that, you know, you can't underestimate no one. You know, you've got to get in there and do the job on the person on the night, regardless of their record, because we're both after the same thing.
How much do you know about Dwayne Green?
I know that he sort of, his game and he comes to have a go in that, so you know, it'd be a good old fight. I'm expecting a tough opposition, and you know, I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
We obviously know you've got a great fan base for someone who's had very few fights already. What response did you get after you defeated? You felt like some of them stuck with you, some of them edged away from you, some of them were like, oh, you know, how was that? Because that's always in the back of your mind as well with when you lose a fight. When you're winning, everyone is, you know, on your back or whatever, but then if you suffer a defeat, I don't know, it does happen sometimes where people sort of, you know, are not as enthusiastic to come to your fight, or not, you know, you understand what I mean? Yeah,
no, it happens. You got a bit of everything that you've just mentioned in there. You know, people, a lot of people are stuck by me, you know, because I'm fortunate enough to have, you know, like a lot of good people around me, so people are stuck by me. You know, people, a few people ain't coming to the fight, you know, for whatever reason, but I've known from day one everyone wants to be wrapped around a good boxer. As soon as things don't start going right, you know, do they really want to be kind of going over land and sea to watch a kind of thing? But you know, all it is for me to do my job, and you know, if then people want to get back on board, then I genuinely appreciate it. If not, then you know, I'm here to win titles myself. So
I'm glad you said all that, because it's like I said, it's kind of a thing that's not always talked about, because it's quite an awkward thing to talk about, but people do like to ride the train of a winning fighter. And
they do, but also on our behalf, you've got to understand that they're paying their hard-earned money to come and watch us, so it's their choice whether they want to come and watch us or not. So you can't get the if people don't want to come and watch us, because they've worked, slaved all week to earn that money, so it's their choice what they want to spend it on. And to come and spend it on me, to watch me spend a Saturday night watching me punch someone in the face, then I honestly, genuinely do appreciate it. But if they want to go out and spend it on beer, then it's up to them. Honestly, it is, and you know, it's their choice.
Again, being very honest. But well, listen, George, wish you the best of luck on Saturday night. Like I said, good to see you get back on track, and just like I said, use that as a learning curve. I'm sure you will. So. Be a good shout to your call. Bradley Skeet's on, Frank Buglioni's on, Gary Corcoran.
Good fighters, and you know, sometimes, like before I was a pro, I used to like watching sort of the up and coming undercard sort of fights. You know, the up and coming fighters, because you know, they're the ones that are going to be sort of tomorrow's champions. So yeah, there's some good fighters, and you know, Bradley and Frank, they're moving on in their careers, you know, they're getting to that stage where they're going to be in massive fights, so it's good to be sort of along the journey with them.
Did you watch Mayweather Maidana on Box Nation?
I did watch it Sunday morning.
What did you think?
I thought that he was going to sort of beat him a lot easier this time. Mayweather's too good, man. Geezer's too good.
Who do you think he should fight in his last two fights? Would you like to see the Amir Khan fan?
Being an Amir Khan fan, I'd love to see him trade blows with Amir Khan. You know, every single fighter he fights, there's always a case of, yeah, but what if he gets in there and always does enough to win, do you know what I mean? But I'd like to see him against Amir Khan, and obviously the Pacquiao fight as well, which I've got a feeling will happen, so fingers crossed.
They'd be my picks as well. Khan and Pacquiao next year. Khan in May, Pacquiao in September. Mayweather retires, job done.
That's it. Now that would be a good end to like an unbelievable career for him, but you know, at the end of the day, for him, is it more about giving the fans what they want, or more about banking that $40 million every time? And to be honest, he'll probably bank it if he fought anyone, you know what I mean? So it's up to him, innit? He's the promoter, the fighter, the trainer, everything.
I think he'd bank it if he fought me, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. So does he want to have an easiest night and earn the money, keep the unbeaten record, or does he really, you know, truly sort of want to beat everyone out there that there is? But you know, a lot of people get on Mayweather's back, man. The geezer has beat everyone, and you look at his opponents he's fought, it's unbelievable, name after name after name. And you know, what more can the geezer do to get sort of respect of the masses, kind of thing? So you know, he's got my respect anyway.
All right, George. Listen, thanks for talking to us, and well, like I said, we'll catch up with you hopefully soon. And obviously, this is going out on our new show, the Cassius and Helder show. So yeah, Thursday nights. I'm sure everyone knows because they're watching this now. All right, George. Thanks for talking to us.
Nice one, Coop.